Welcome to Dr. Karen Health Talks. I'm Dr. Karen, and I am continuing on the series of resilience and thriving. And I want to share with you a concept that I really enjoy and I focus on in my life from a book called Raw Coping Power, R-A-W, Coping Power, From Stress to Thriving by my good friend Joel Bennett, PhD. And Joel was one that I took the course from, The Secret Power of Stress, that I am delivering to organizations and corporations. So this one concept that I thought I would share with you today are the 5 competencies of resilience. So these are 5 competencies, so 5 skills that resilient people demonstrate. So not just people, but Joel does a lot of work in organizations, and any team or any one member of a team or organizations or companies, because companies have a corporate culture, and these are 5 competencies that comprise resilient teams or resilient people. So I thought, wow, well, this would really help, since right now we are certainly continuing to go through a very stressful time when resilience is called for. And remember, resilience is a concept that we bounce back after adversity. So we have certainly had a lot of adversity, and when you are resilient, you not only bounce back, but you can actually grow through that experience. Some of us return to what is called a set point, and if you remember, I did a whole podcast about set point, that expected level of happiness or pain that we return to after an experience that might be positive or negative. That's called a set point. But resilient people bounce back to their set point or higher as a result of adversity. And I'm going to give you these 5 skills, because these are things that you just might want to reflect in your own life and ask yourself, how many of these do I have? So it's unusual for someone to be highly competent in all of them. And remember, this is not about perfection. This is about transforming our lives. It is practicing skills. As a health coach, I know that if I throw too much at a client too quickly, they'll do nothing because it's overwhelming. So perhaps you can think about one of these 5 competencies, or even one of the issues within the competency that you might decide, today I'm going to work on that. So let's get started. The first competency, and they all start with C, the 5 C's, is centering. This is something that I think would be my highest competency of all of the 5. This is a coping style of mine that I practice every day. It's called centering. It includes a healthy lifestyle. And this includes diet, what I eat. It includes exercise every single day. And for me, it includes a routine for that exercise. So right now I'm about to jump into my boot camp. I always like to record my podcasts in the morning when my mind is fresh and active, and I'm just about to go into my boot camp, which makes me really excited. And other stress management skills that you have learned along the way, it also includes your faith, your spiritual health, what you might like to do to engage your higher calling, inspirational literature, and it includes work-life balance, so how you're actually implementing. And for a lot of us, that's very difficult at this time, because if you're used to going to an office where everything is kind of decided when you start and when you end, and now you find yourself at home and everything is calling you at home, how do you create that work-life balance? So that is called centering. That's the first C. The next one is community. You might also call this care. And this includes social connections. And you know, I've spoken about this a lot during this time. I do not like the term social distancing. It puts the wrong intention. What we're doing is physical distancing. And we need social connection as part of our resilience. Positive group activities with people we love and enjoy. This could be on Zoom, or it could be going for a walk, being socially connected yet physically distanced appropriately, giving and getting help, being volunteers, helping someone that is needing extra care now. knowing how to refer others to helpful resources, giving people resources in times of great need. So that is community. Probably does not surprise you that part of resilience is having a community of support and care. Number 3 is compassion. And Joel also calls this character, which I really like. This entails having an active empathy for other people and their situation. We're going through a very high level of racial discord in the United States, and practicing empathy for everybody involved, I believe, is part of the understanding and the compassion that is needed right now. Heart-centered leadership. If you're in the practice of being in leadership positions in any way, and that includes being a parent, coming from the heart, coming from love and kindness is really, really important for everybody, including yourself. Having integrity, authenticity, humility, what beautiful terms, beautiful values of compassion. Compassion is a core strength of being resilient. I just love that. The third one, so that is 3, centering, community, compassion. The fourth one is confidence. Now, confidence is not what you might think. It's not a false sense of confidence, but it's embracing and enjoying a challenge. So we have been through challenging times. We are still in challenging times. How are you embracing that? How are you finding the challenge in that and growing and stretching your limits? And how do you know what your limits are? How are you taking care of yourself with good self-care? Having confidence is about practicing self-care and having courage. I have just written a new ebook called Resilience, Mental Well-Being and Resilience, a self-care guide. Mental Well-Being and Resilience, a self-care guide in the next podcast. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but you can get it at drkarenwolf.org/resilience. Self-care is part of being courageous, my friends. And the fifth C of resilience is commitment. It's a calling. None of these things work unless you're committed to your daily practice of exercise, if you're committed to your daily self-care, if you're following your own goals and dreams, if you keep clarifying your direction and your purpose, and you keep planning to achieve whatever goal it is, even if it's a goal of being more centered, of slowing down, whatever your goal is, that's about commitment and persevering with what we're talking about. I'm not saying any of this is easy. I'm not making a list for you and saying, okay, off you go. I'm creating an awareness. I'm giving you some parameters for you to decide, how am I going to build my resilience today? Is it through centering and coping? Is it through community? Is it through compassion for myself and other people? Is it through confidence and creating this positive self-care and embracing the challenge? Or is it through commitment, through my calling, looking at my goals, of planning, of being more focused today? So those are the 5 C's of resilient teams and resilient people. And I throw those out to you so that you can continue to build your resilience through these very trying times. And I hope my words and my ideas will help you go within and decide how you are going to be stronger and you are going to be more resilient. So until next time, this is Dr. Karen Wolf with Dr. Karen Health Talks. And I send you loving kindness this day from my heart, knowing that you are cared for in so many ways, even ways that perhaps you don't even realize. We are never alone. And I hope that you continue to build your love and your resilience and your thriving in your own life. Bye for now.